Hello, I'm Brad of StrongerThanAllGuitar.com, an online and local South Florida guitar instructor. For my second video, I realized in the first it would probably be beneficial if you knew all the parts of the guitar and how everything works. This is going to be just a basic understanding of what the different pieces are and where everything kind of comes together. One of the biggest things, obviously, you always see that it's played here and then by fretting on the neck. Firstly, I want to talk about how you hold it. A lot of people think this isn't the most important thing, and they just want to get in and just start banging away, and it's not that simple. Personally, I think if you don't have a good control over it, a good position, there's actually a theory that you want to hold the guitar at a 45-degree angle from your body. So basically, I'm trying to move the camera so you can see this. If your body is zero, if you're a totally flat plane, the guitar neck should come out at a 45-degree angle from your body. And then it wouldn't, so just to turn from the side here so you guys can see this, this would be coming out 90 degrees, just straight out from me. You want to come like a halfway where when you're playing it, your hand is comfortably behind it where you can go up the whole neck. Now, also from the back side of the neck here, you can see you want to keep your thumb, and I'd like to try to think like your thumbprint area, in the thickest part of the neck. Now, there's going to be times that you feel it kind of going to one side or something like that just because you're reaching for a chord. But in general, try to always keep it. Some guitars actually will even have a line, another piece of wood inlaid, where you'll actually see that line. You want to try to always keep your thumb there. That just keeps a good hand posture, and this reduces cramping. A very big thing I see when people are first starting guitar, they push their fingers in so hard. I jokingly call this strangling the neck, as this is what this is called. They're pushing just so hard, trying to make it sound good. And that's another really big thing. If you understand how the frets work, you don't have to push that hard. In fact, you can barely push down at all and get the same effect as if you're pushing so hard you actually crack the neck. Basically how guitar works, sometimes you'll see like fretless instruments. They do not have these little metal bars going across. Now, when you push the string down, I'm just going to push it down on this 12th fret here on the first string. When you push that down, you are basically stopping the vibrations from the bridge, which is where the strings stop in the body, where you see them at the little white post there. They go over the sound hole, and then it's vibrating all the way to where my finger is actually stopping it at the 12th fret. So by fretting it, you're actually shortening the distance of the string, which is changing the pitch. Now, where do you push on this fret? A lot of the times, I'm going to do this down here so you can see on a kind of more exaggerated scale. A lot of the times, like say on the 3rd or 5th fret, I'll see students pushing way, way back here. This is wrong. You do not want to fret. Let's say this is the 3rd fret. Just get the neck back there. So the nut here, this is where it would be open if you play just the string. And then the 1st fret is the 1st metal line, the 2nd fret, the 3rd, and so on. And you'll see they're dotted at odd intervals. So the 3rd is the first one that's dotted usually. Sometimes the 1st, but usually the 3rd. The 5th, the 7th, the 9th. Now they skip here to the 12th because that's an octave. And basically an octave means that it's the same note, but it's just one octave higher. It's going to be the same pitch in that it's still an E, but it's a higher tone of that E. Just like this 6th string is an E, and this string is an E. But they sound different. Now, basically, the bridge here, on an acoustic, you have pins. These pins, these little white with black dots, they actually hold the string so it stays in the bridge of holding it into the body. Now, acoustics obviously are a little bit different than electrics. Electrics usually have a metal bridge, and instead of pins, they're just basically locked in or sometimes just strung through a piece of metal with holes in it. Now, basically with that, where you pick here also changes the sound. Usually the most common place to pick on an acoustic or electric is a couple inches back from the neck. I usually say like above, on an acoustic it's real obvious, right above the sound hole and where the pickguard is. You can see the pickguard ends here, so they basically are saying you can pick all the way back here or here. You're probably going to. Some guitars don't have pickguards. Really, it doesn't really matter that much. You never should be picking so hard that you're digging into the body. I've had this guitar for years, and there's some light scratches here just from, you know, live use and I've definitely used this guitar, but I mean, there's no gouges to where, you know, every time I see that, it's like, come on, you're hitting it a little bit too hard. But basically, also with your posture and guitar, sometimes you'll see it helps to tilt up the neck a little bit like that, rather than kind of slouching down. And again, a lot of the time with rock, to look cooler, you'll see guitarists, you know, with their guitars way, way down at their waist. So just to kind of give you an example, like way down here, and then you'll see like a good example, some jazz musicians will play with their guitars way up here in their chest because they feel they have more control. There is no technically true only one correct, but I always say go with a happy medium. Any extreme is bad. You shouldn't be up here like a violin, but it shouldn't be down here at your feet where you can't even reach it. So basically, I like to just say in a comfortable position. I always like guitars that have this little contour here that you can rest on your leg. That makes it just an easy, kind of comfortable thing. And you can use either leg, whichever. If I'm doing something more technical, I usually use my left leg because then I can point the guitar neck up and focus more up here. And then if it's something more rhythmically focused, I'll keep it on my right leg because I'm right-handed. Then I can focus more there. So just depending on what it is. Now, basically after that, another one of the most important things in the guitar are the tuning pegs on the headstock. The headstock is just the piece of wood that's tilted back, but these tuning heads hold your strings and adjust the pitch. You can check that out in the tuning video. And then the nut is actually what stops the strings from vibrating any further. That is the full length of the string to vibrate. A lot of the times you can get different nuts and they sound a little, you know, they have some made out of bone, some made out of graphite. Floyd Rose guitars actually have an Allen wrench bolt that locks the strings down so they can't fall out of tune. There's going to be a video for sure about that. I am a very big Floyd Rose user, and I'll be showing you how to set a Floyd Rose up. And a lot of this stuff I offer to my students as a service, but in the same, it's not that hard if you take the time to figure it out. Like tuning your guitar. I always, you know, I've heard people say, oh, I'm going to go take my guitar to a shop to have it tuned, and they charge you, and it's crazy. It's so easy to tune your guitar, but it's just finding the theory and the method to it. Now, some acoustics come with a little onboard preamp. This is a B-band preamp. This just came stock on this Washburn. And basically, this is just like a little control, just like your amplifier, that if you're plugging into a PA or a little practice amp, you can control the volume, the presence, the mid, the high, the bass, you know, just kind of affect the sound. Your jack on a lot of acoustics is also your strap holder. Always very good to play with a strap. I prefer to play standing up. I feel that I have less constraint. I feel like when I'm sitting down, it's like I'm going to bump into something, and when you're standing up, you're free. A lot of the times on acoustics, you'll see, and I left my strap undone so I could show you this. A lot of the times you'll see people will actually drill a hole in the back of the neck here and put a strap button. They'll do that to then make it like an electric guitar where the strap hangs. This is okay, I do like this, but the standard and kind of more classical acoustic thing you'll see is people take like a string and put it around the hole in the strap at the end, and then just feed it through past the nut. And this is what I usually do. And I have a couple different acoustics, so it makes it easy to change. But then you just string that through there, and then, sorry, let me just get on that side. And then you can tie that, and then just use that to hold the guitar. And usually what I'll do is tie it tight and leave a little bit hanging. So, sorry, just so you guys can see this, I just adjust it. That way the strap never bothers the strings here, where it could cause any type of unwanted change to the vibration of the string.